Hey you, welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. Today we have a 30-minute flow, road to splits, or as we say in yoga, Hanumanasana. So right and left splits and then straddle splits, Upavishta Konasana. So we'll start here in bound ankle pose, soles of the feet together, knees wide, back body heavy. And we'll start by taking a full breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Just really releasing any of the tension that starts to surface. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to belly. And just start to take some inventory of where you are in this moment. The texture of the breath, how it travels down the back of the throat. If it feels moist or if it feels dry. And then just slowly start to soften your awareness. Acknowledging what surfaces moment to moment in this practice and being a little bit more committed to the moment to moment experience. We'll start to roll the wrists out gently, bringing life back into the hands, and then reach the back body long behind you, and then take a few moments to find some organic movement with the legs before you drop the soles of the feet down to the earth. And then windshield wiper the knees side to side. For me, I like to cactus the arms to feel this expansive energy in the side body. For you, you can place your hands on your hips. There's no need to force yourself into any kind of posture here. We're just going to arrive there step by step. Inhale, lift the hips, ground the soles of the feet down for glute bridge. We're warming up the hamstrings if we're going to open them. And then gently drop your hips down towards the earth. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the chin away from the chest. Reach the hands back behind you. Draw the quads down towards the hamstrings. And then lower the palms, lower the hips, and down you go through the vertebrae. Inhale, lift the hips. Option to interlace the palms behind you and reach the knuckles between the soles of the feet. Opening up to the front of the shoulder heads, and then bracing the belly. Drop the hands by the sides, lower the glutes. Gently come back to the ground. Inhale, lift the hips, kick your right ankle up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, lengthen it down towards the floor to a hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen and hover. Inhale, lift. And then cross your right ankle over your left for supine figure 4. Drop down through the glutes, and then rock your right foot off to the left side so you can just start to feel the outer right hip open. This should feel nice and juicy. So stop where it feels safe and a little bit uncomfortable, but not to where you're forcing. And then go ahead and reach the right foot down towards the earth. Hands by your sides. We'll inhale, lift the hips up high. Stay. And then exhale, lift the left ankle up high. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lift. Flex the toes. Exhale to hover. Brace that belly. Inhale to lift. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lift. Cross the left ankle over the right. Drop the glutes down and then just gently push that left foot off towards the right. And this side might speak differently to you. So just notice where you're able to expand and contract with the breath and how that sends tiny little indications to the body as to where to stop. And then we'll just rock and roll here as many times as necessary, suspending our time at the top. Broad chest, proud chest. You own this today. And then hold boat pose. Reach your hands out, tiny little core tease here. We love it. Reach your hands out and then extend your legs out to a hover. Inhale, boat. Exhale, hover and hold. Inhale, boat. Wrap the knees in, cross the ankles over. And then we'll just step the shins back behind us, adjust those leggings or whatever it is you're wearing. And then drop the belly, open up the heart for cow. Gaze looks up. Exhale, tuck and round for cat. Inhale for cow, feel the heart melt and expand. Exhale for cat, tucking around. Inhale. Drop the belly, open up the heart, find cow here. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and then just melt the knees back. Press the heart space back to the thighs, do a little dance, and then melt the heels down towards the earth for downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out, and go ahead and pedal the right knee towards the chest. Inhale, switch left. And then exhale, high into the balls of the feet, bend the knees, and then glide forward, plank pose. And then we'll do that again. Bend the knees, hike the hips, downward facing dog. Glide forward, plank, bend the knees, hike the hips, downward facing dog. Glide forward, plank, bend the knees, downward facing dog, and then hold. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale. And then exhale, grab opposite elbows and just sway from side to side here. You can place your hands on your glutes or behind your thighs, send some nurture there. Then take your hands to your low back and let the hands fall down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to thighs, tailbone reaches back, weight shifts forward to the balls of the feet, and then exhale, slide the hands down the shins, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep inside to sky, big energy up through the top of the palms, and then hands to heart center. Today we commit to exploring the expansion and the contraction of our movement. The breath expands, the body expands, decisions expand, and then we come back into ourselves here, moment to moment. The balance between reaching out and coming back in towards ourselves. We take an inhale. And then we take an exhale to push the hands back, rotate the shoulders, and lift the hands up towards the ceiling. Full breath in. Cactus, the arms, melt them down towards the ground. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend the knees to assist the low back, forward fold. Inhale. Walk the plank, brace the belly, come all the way to plank pose, drop those glutes, and then all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Bring the hands by the lower ribs. Inhale, low cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down towards the ground. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down towards the ground. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Hold, maybe even broader this time. Lower down towards the ground. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Send it back, downward facing dog. So nice. Full breath in. And a breath out walks your hands back to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. I was like, what am I doing there? Bring your two peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. It's like, peace out, bro. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toes and then really open up through the elbows for Padangusthasana. Separate the hands, inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold is your exhale. Circle sweep the hands high to sky. Full breath in. Gather up. Hands to heart center. Interlace the hands, press them forward and up. Lift from even sides of your torso. And then full breath in. And an exhale tips you up and over to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Drive through knife edge of right foot. Inhale up through center. Baby back bend. Forward fold. Gather back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk forward, plank pose, hold. Full breath in. Chaturanga is your exhale. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Plant down through palms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees. And then jump, step, float, top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold and find Padahastasana. Pressing ball mounds of feet into palms and then really reaching the tops of your wrists up to your shoulders, letting the head be heavy here. Gorilla pose. Separate the hands, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, big circle sweep, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands reach high. Hands down by your sides. Interlace the hands. Stretch them back behind you. Inhale to lift and broaden through chest. Exhale to melt down towards toes. Bending the knees helps to open the hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands and just step the left toes back. Release the left knee down to the mat. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Hug the low belly in away from the inseam of the right thigh. Then plant the hands, half splits, flex the right toes in. Glide that right hip back just like I did here. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Shift the hips forward, sink weight. Exhale, heart stays lifted as the right heel digs into the earth. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits. You can bend the right knee if that's easier on you. And then we inhale, low lunge, lift the left knee off the mat. And we'll just step it back for Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I always say this, but if chaturangas take you out of your practice, remember that you can still do a chaturanga and be an asshole, right? So it's really not the main point of the practice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, circle sweep the hands high to sky. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, circle sweep the hands high. And then cross your left foot over your right. And then find steeple grip with your hands, releasing index fingers up to sky and reach over to the right side. Unwind the feet, lift up to recenter. Cross, right foot over left. And then over to the left. Inhale up through center. Open up that heart space, forward fold, drop down toward your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the right toes back this time. And then inhale, reach the hands up high to sky, full breath in. Lock the hips. And then send them back. Half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits, Ardha. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, lift up. Exhale, half splits, dig down. Walk the hands forward, lift the back knee. Left foot meets the right. Chaturanga if it behooves you, right? Upward facing dog and then downward facing dog. You go with what your body feels like today. Inhale, bend the knees. Hop, step, float, top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep hands high to sky. Baby back bend, open up and unveil. Inhale, hands high. Forward fold, melt down towards the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we'll set the left toes back again. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, lift up. Lift hip bones up to low ribs. And then go ahead and interlace the hands behind the low back or find opposite elbows as you pull the right femur back into the hip bone. Inhale. Find low lunge, top of the mat space. And then we'll just turn about a quarter for Prasarita forward fold. Heels kick out to the ends of the mat. Head drops low. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, turn back to the front of the mat space. And then step the right foot back, chaturanga, take a flow. Flip to the tops of the feet before you push back to downward facing dog. So don't rush the flow. Be in the flow. Expansion and contraction here. Bend the knees, jump step, float, top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold is our exhale. Inhale, circle sweep hands high to sky. Cactus the arms, exhale. Inhale, reach the hands high. Gather back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Set the right toes back behind you, drop the right knee down. Inhale, lift the hands up, Anja. And then interlace the hands, same thing, dig the left heel. Heart space reaches forward towards left big toe. Inhale, low lunge. And then we'll find a quarter turn, Prasarita forward folds. Hands to backs of thighs. Bring back that attention to where we're engaging. And then find a halfway lift here in low lunge, top of the mat space. Chaturanga is your exhale. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Bend the knees, jump, step, float, top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then cross left ankle behind right as you walk your hands over to the right side. I find this to be the most effective IT band stretch. If this is screaming and there's no signal, right? It's just gone from a signal to a straight scream. Then just skip this and continue to practice opening up your hamstrings and just a forward fold with bent knees. There's no need to force anything that can't already exist in the body. Gentle work will get you there. Inhale, hands reach up high to sky. Bring your hands by your sides and just reacclimate a little bit. Inhale, reach the hands high. And then we drop it down for the one and only first and once in a lifetime chair pose, right? Swing the arms back, reach the heart forward, full breath in. Exhale, reach the hands in front. Inhale, peel the arms back. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Forward fold is your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll step the left toes back, this time keeping the left knee lifted. Inhale, cow lunge. And then we'll exhale for a runner's lunge, hovering the left knee. And we'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, cow lunge. Runner's lunge, we'll flex the right toes, hover the left knee. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cow lunge. And then we'll inhale, high crescent lunge. Strengthen the front quad, lift in the back hamstring, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach the hands high. And then warrior two, spread the mat underneath you. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, long side body here. Inhale, reverse your triangle, extend the front knee. And then exhale, it's triangle pose. So push the right calf into the right shin, just like I did here because I'm hyperextended, and find a low lunge top of the mat space. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Down diggity dog. Bend the knees, jump step, float top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Circle sweep the hands high. Inhale, cactus the arms, and just really unleash here. You get to do that in your homes. Inhale, hands high. Utkatasana, reach to the mass of your back. Reach to the mass. Why did I sound Italian there? Reach to the mass of your back. And bring your hands to heart center, and then forward fold, melt down towards your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step your right toes back behind you. Find that cow lunge. Inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge. Send it back. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge or runner's lunge here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Lift your hip points up towards your ribs. Bend the elbows, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach the hands high. Open up, warrior two. Left toes turn out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Tip it up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Even leg through both sides of torso. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Flip it and reverse it. Exhale, triangle pose. So you'll knock, do you see how I did that sassy thing with my hip? That's where I want you. A little bit sassier in the left hip. Full breath in. Low lunge, top of the mat space. Take a vinyasa if it serves you. If at this point your shoulders are real shot to shit, you can skip it, right? Full breath in, bend the knees. Exhale, jump step, float, top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Circle sweep, hands high. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And just pause. When we build this heat in the body, we get a moment to reflect and do the work, and then we get right back into it again. Chair pose. Forward fold is your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a vinyasa. And then downward facing dog. Full breath in. Right leg reaches high to sky. Then go ahead and scorpion the dog. Flex through the right heel. Open up the left hip. And then we'll find three-legged dog. And we'll tap it through to low lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Listen. Now drop it all the way down to low lunge. Interlace the hands. Place them on the right thigh. And then find half splits here. So from here, moving into full splits, you can roll out the right ankle. And then you'll start to just slowly dig the right ankle forward. For me, this has always been a posture that's very easy to get into, and I want to respect that it's not the same experience for you, most likely. So it's just start to focus on sliding that right heel forward and keeping the back knee drop down towards the earth. And you can use blocks here if that serves you. Blocks are a really helpful tool to start to open up the hips. Inhale. Lift up the chest, and then this is definitely a very awkward pose to get out of, so it doesn't need to be graceful. I've definitely slid my mat underneath me. We'll swing that back leg up into three-legged dog, and then we'll step it through high crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, lift the hands, and then open up, warrior two again. Fan the right knee out. Inhale, reverse your triangle. And then exhale, triangle pose. One of the best poses we can do for our low backs. If we abide by it, how far can the hand go before hurting ourselves? Inhale. Take a vinyasa. Stay for the exhale as we move into downward facing dog. And we drive this home. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, left heel high. Scorpion the dog. Open up the left hip. Strong back here. Inhale, three-legged dog. Step it through low lunge. Drop the back knee down towards the earth. Interlace the hands on the left thigh. You could just be focusing on opening up the front of the hip flexors today. That's okay for you. And start to flex the left toes back. And then same thing goes here. This side might be different. This side is definitely very different for me. Start to slide the left heel forward. Keep the chest elevated. The hips will draw square through center. We'll take a full breath in here. Lift the hands up high to sky. And then we'll melt maybe forward over that left thigh. And think in anything like cat pose, like pulling the left hip back into the left hip bone. And then here you can see this was not graceful. I just shook my head. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Walk to the top of the mat space. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold is your exhale. I just cracked my elbows there. You're welcome for that sound effect. Inhale, circle sweep the hands high to sky. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands. Exhale, last chair pose. I can't promise though. I'm almost sure this is the last one. And then forward fold, melt down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then separate the knees wide, keep the heels lifted, and just kind of like, what is that playground mechanic? Oh, seesaw, the hips side to side. It's been a really long time since I've been on a playground. And walk the hands forward and then just drop to your knees. Come to hero's pose and just recollect. Feel this work in the body in just a short amount of time. How we've opened and moved and expanded and contracted, and how it's all this rhythm that we live our lives by, truly. The breath might have sped up here, the heart rate might have sped up here, but we get to come back down and take this time because, as it turns out, 30 minutes is a long amount of time and a short amount of time as well. And then go ahead and face towards me. I'll face towards you. We're going to move into a couple more seated postures here. We'll inhale, reach the hands high, and then we'll come forward into Paschimottanasana. Here's the thing about Paschimottanasana, or any forward fold really. You can see that I'm doing this funky thing with my hips. You want to separate the sit bones, wrap the biceps in by the ears, and then reach forward to where the heart is continuously pouring forward. The pelvis will tilt forward and the tailbone will reach back. Right, and when we start to find an immense amount of rounding in the upper spine, we've gone too far, and then we take the engagement out of the hamstrings. So you only go as far as you can to where you can feel the meat of the hamstrings open. And then we slowly lift up, proud chest. And then we open up for our final pose, Upavishta Konasana. This is a very difficult pose for most people to get into, so feel free to skip this and just head to your backs. But think about physically, like manually moving your upper thighs back and around, lifting the chest, flexing the toes. We'll inhale to lift, and then we'll exhale, drop the right hand down, reach the left hand up and over for a side body stretch. And then we'll square out the hips and find a QL stretch, reaching the right hand to the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Inhale, both hands reach up through center. And then we'll flip it over to the left side. Right arm will reach up and over. Both sit bones glued down evenly. And then right hand to the outside of left foot. I can't reach as far on this side. Inhale, lift up. Same thing we did in Paschimottanasana, forward fold. That pelvis will tip forward, but the tailbone will reach back. And no one likes a dead fish foot, right? So we like to keep the feet flexed so that we can tone the thighs and really keep integrity in the hip bones, because when we start to actually cycle the feet forward, then we've gone too far. And then just slowly come back out of that, slowly but surely. Shimmy the legs in. So we're not moving from one thing to the next too abruptly. Ground down to the soles of the feet and just wrap the head between the thighs. Hold yourself here, nurture here. This is a contraction pose. Congratulate yourself here. Celebrate here. Honor the work here. It matters immensely. And then reach your hands out. Offer the state of which you have arrived in this practice and who you desire to be for the rest of the day. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then slowly bring your hands to heart center and start to lay yourself back down to rest. There's a final posture you want to take here. I invite you to take that now. For me, it's happy baby, gluing down through the low back of the sacrum. For you, it could just be a magnificent head start into Shavasana. Stay with the breath. Stay with the victory. Stay with that expansion and contraction. Think about how far you've come just to be here. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Wherever you are in your final posture. Bring the knees in together. Provide some final physical nurture, legs up the wall maybe if you'd like to keep a restorative pose here. And then lower the feet diligently until they fall into the mat space and you unravel here. Shavasana. And I was singing this song to you. Today's reading comes from Mark Groves, who's the face behind Create the Love, which is an incredible Instagram handle. You should definitely check it out if you have the time. He says, I want to remind you that you did not have to suffer. You did not come to this world to just endure. You came here to thrive. It is you who must choose that. Hands to body in recognition of the effort that we've put forth on the mat space. A moment of clarity here. A moment of pause here before we go about the rest of our day. Inhale here. Exhale here. Hold. This is patience. This is nurture. You have time. We were alone and I was singing this song. Singing this song to you. Start to bring life back into the feet, into the hands, into the body. Consciously draw in the breath. Big body stretch if that serves you. Feel the ribs expand, feel the heart expand, and then roll over to your left side and just hold yourself here for just a moment like you would someone who you care for immensely. Then use your left hand to prop yourself up, and we'll end practice. Seated position, hands at heart center. Lift the hands high, drop them down. Full breath in. Full breath out. Hands to forehead for clear and loving thoughts. Hands to mouths for clear and loving communication. Hands to heart for clear and loving intentions. With honor and respect for the roots of yoga, this practice we benefit from. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. To this I say, namaste. Good work today, my friends. You're amazing. I love you. Go kill your day.